welcome back to Mobility Project. Here in CrossFit Pleasanton, where they do some crazy stuff. Actually, here we go. Paul Southern, upside down. Good guy, good dancer, family man. Hey, who's that torture in the back? Just Burdick? Powerlifter extraordinary. Honestly, this is not a gimmick, you guys. What's happening is these guys have figured out a way here at this gym to use the heavy black bands and distract, and they basically have the bands in Paul's low back, and he's just completing a little bit of decompression. Heavy lifting, big time compression, getting some space in that tissue. Same thinking as, hey, I've got the reverse hyper, working to unload, working just to restore that spinal motion. In this position, just usually has Paul doing a little twisting, just a little gentle opening, a little side to side. No numbness, tingling, not going to change and vomit through his pants, right? He's feeling okay. But for any of our athletes who have severe kind of big time overextension related issues, getting them and keeping about in mind a little extension makes a difference. Or a decompression after extension makes a difference. Even if I'm just hanging, the difference is I need to make sure I leave my feet on the ground and so I can unload. If I have to pull my feet up, then it's not going to be any good. I have to be able to close the circuit and then do the same motion. So we're basically doing the same compression from either side. And just getting a little bit of hip motion back in there can radically load. The only thing he needs to do is make sure he's tight before he comes off tension. But informed freestyling, it's best. Dick Hartzell, the crazy minds of strong athletes fixing low back problems. This is what it's about. And now so you understand what it is. So come on over. Can you dismount from there by yourself? Oh, that was good. I was hoping we could leave you there. So one of the things we're always working at is when our athletes are pulling wide in sumo, when they're squatting, it's easy for these medial tissues to get a little bit binged up, and that's what you were saying.
Right.
So let's start with the easiest one. So on your back for me. When we mobilize, and if you think about the position, and these guys did this great seminar today, we're talking about how do we kind of create tension and load that positions on the way down into the bar. They really are at the limits of having the leg straight and being able to load the hip. So the easiest way to replicate that is to bring that leg up. Go ahead and come up and grab your own ankle. And then, he's pretty flexible for a strong guy, huh? Yeah, he's coming for you, you skinny little hypermobile guy. So look, in this position though, we typically look at the hamstring mobility. Relax for me. In this position, and you'll see that that's pretty unbelievable for, what he's squat, like 909? 907, 908, whatever. 909, but it's not a linear athlete, and certainly not linear out here. So he can reach up, grab his ankle, and then let that foot drop out to the side, and now he can do his own contract, relax. So the key is that you cannot be just a linear thinker. You've got to put yourself out to the side. So he can do his classic contract, relax in this position, and because I'm a super friend, I would just mash him down here and then hold his hip. He can resist into me. Big breath, hold, but don't throw me down, you're too strong. Release, and then I can just take up in those corners. I always like it when the athlete does it better because they know exactly where they're tight. So one idea of just using classic contract, relax. But here's a couple of ideas. Maybe it's not just a muscle length problem. Maybe it's an issue of, soft tissue. So an easiest way to do this, we love the frog beat down, right? You can bring that bar up, put myself into an extra rotated position, and grind through those adductors, hit those gentle tissues, right? One of the best things that we haven't done super frog for a while, I'm going to need a 1,000,000-pound weight. We got one of those around here?
100 pound right here.
Oh, perfect. 100-pounder. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I need a wheel. This will be fine. So let's have you on your back, buddy. Yep. Go ahead and lay all the way down. Drop this leg out to the side. In this position, we can load that hip all the way down. Remember, super frog. And then keeping the belly tight, ribcage down, he can start applying that pressure by letting that other leg drop out. Then he can squeeze his butt to support the hip, contract, and release. And we'll let that go out a little bit further. It's the weight that allows this to kind of stay down, keeping the rib cage down. And then as a super friend, he may just need that additional help. How's that feel? Wonderful. Fun. It's my favorite. Hey, more. Hey, more, Kelly. No means no, Uncle Kelly. Right? This is what the idea is. So this is super frog position for this stuff. I think that's effective. But here's what we go, is that likely, since he's so flexible and has good tissue health because he's paying attention to the details, it may be a capsular piece. And one of the things that we want to do is always think about how do we kind of involve the capsule. So take a look at this. We can stretch out with the jump stretch band. Let's do, we'll load it here. And what's going to happen is that we can load that hip in that, in this place, in this kind of abduction plane. And so normally we're using the band to distract the hip laterally, but we can actually turn it around and use it to create the position I want as I work. So belly is tight here, and then that band is coming and pulling in. So I can encourage that joint motion. And we've talked about being in kind of reverse ballerina before, a little bit of internal rotation, neutral position, and then I can just side bend, contract, relax over that, and you can find those capsular restrictions. Give that a try. Setup's a little bit wonky. Oh, bend, trap it. I'm just an inflexible CrossFit athlete, not a powerlifter. It's not my fault. So all we've done is simplified his pulling position by dropping the knee, and then he can hang out and press into that position. Band is gliding this joint into that position where maybe restricted, maybe rolling up into the side of the capsule. In this position, maybe he can hammer it. You feel that? Mm-hmm. But yeah, and then could he contract, relax here? Absolutely. Driving that knee into the ground, tight. But then even just that little side bend over can really do a lot to unimpinge and then hit those corners. So try to press that hip to the ground. It's the powerlifting hip thrust. You get the idea. Thinking through the problem, what are the limitations? Of course, it just may be that he's short and ropey, could put a ball here. What's the goal? 1,000 pounds?
Absolutely.
Is that it? 1,200. 1,200 to go. Imagine squatting 900 pounds and thinking to yourself, I'm only 3/4 of the way there. Thanks, you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.